I'm Randy and I make candy, and tonight I'm making Reggie bars. I know it's not a bar, that's just what it's called. Stick around. Greetings, my confectionery compadres, and welcome to Randy Makes Candy, where I help you make tasty treats that people love to eat. I'm sure many of you are aware that the Major League Baseball playoffs have begun, and I thought this would be a perfect time to make a treat that's been on my list for a while, the Reggie bar. Named after baseball superstar Reggie Jackson, it was first produced in 1978 and was removed from the market in 1981, although there was a brief resurgence in the 90s. If you stick around after the recipe, I'll share what I think is an amusing story about the candy bar's debut. As always, I'd love to hear about your results if you decide to make your own Reggie bars, as well as suggestions for other recipes you'd like to see in future videos. For this recipe, I used 15 caramels, 3/4 of a cup of sweetened condensed milk, 1/4 cup of butter, some peanuts, and 11 ounces of milk chocolate. I'm also using a saucepan, a spatula, a lined cutting board, a spoon, and a couple of precision dipping tools. Okay, let's make some candy. In a saucepan over medium heat, add the sweetened condensed milk and butter. Stir until the butter is melted, then add the caramels and turn the heat to medium-low. Stir this continuously so the caramels don't burn. When the caramels are fully melted, pour the mixture into some jars and set them aside. When they've cooled enough to handle, put some caramel on the lined cutting board. These are free-form, so use as much as you'd like and don't worry about the shape. Put them in the fridge to let the caramel firm up. Press some peanuts into the caramel. Don't skimp on these. Reggie gave 100% and you should too. Melt or temper the chocolate, then spoon some over the caramel and peanuts. Let them set until they're firm enough to remove from the parchment. If the caramel's still too sticky, use something like an offset spatula to release them. Dip the bottom of the bars into the melted chocolate, let the excess drain, then return them to the lined cutting board and leave them on the counter to set. And that's it. Okay, let's have a taste. Sláinte mhath. Well, this is everything I expected it to be. Chocolate, peanuts, and caramel always go great together, and this is no exception. When Mrs. Randy Makes Candy tried it, she said it had a lot of similarities to other things I've made, but was still delightfully different. I said, yeah, this is a Goo Goo cluster without the marshmallow, a Snickers without the nougat, and a Nut Goody with caramel instead of maple fondant. She replied that candies kind of have their own genealogy, with which I heartily agreed. Anyway, whether you're a baseball fan or not, you really ought to try these. According to the Classic New York History website, which I've linked in the description, the rollout of the Reggie bar didn't quite turn out as expected. On opening day of the 1978 New York Yankees baseball season, the Curtis Candy Company introduced their new treat by giving everyone who entered the stadium a free Reggie bar. In the bottom of the first inning, Reggie Jackson came up to bat. With a count of 3 balls and no strikes, he swung on the 4th pitch and hit a tremendous home run to center field. The fans in the stadium went absolutely wild and started throwing their Reggie bars onto the field. At the time, Jackson thought the fans were throwing the bars on the field because they didn't like them, but he soon realized that they were actually celebrating. The White Sox weren't too happy about it, though, because they had to delay the game to clean up the mess. But that was Yankees baseball in the 70s. If you enjoyed your time here in the Candy Kitchen, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you'll join me next time. Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd by me. Some peanuts and Cracker Jacks, I don't care if I never get back. So it's root for the home team if they don't win. It's a shame for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out in the old ball game. Candy.